So I'm Ka with a K, Ra. It's right there. Friend of mine. You know, it's interesting to come into a mind that's separated. I wonder if that can be done by you. To travel into a mind that's separated. Obviously, the answer is yes. But can you do it from a different standpoint? Wherever you position yourself in life becomes your reality. I position myself as a king, then therefore must be a king. Time confuses you because the diminished mind doesn't understand choice and the freedom that it truly is. The diminished mind chooses choice as a commodity. It sees itself as choice, as something to be realized instead of embraced. Choice is embraced in the moment, and there's no cognitive thought behind it. There's no A or B. There's always this. The mind goes down and takes it down to this or this. The mind cares, better said, is your brain, according to Roxy. I'll guide that way, Rox. That feels good. You see, I can't have the ability to guide that way in cognitive choice. I have to use Roxy's point of view in order to have that experience. See, she saw something just now that what I said had a different reflection, so it can be given to humanity as a limited point of view so they can understand. So me being able to use her mind, I can go ahead. Oh, God, feels good to be in a body. Ew. Oh, yes, it does. I use her mind so I can see the choice. There was a revelation done by two of your Homo Divinicus in the class, Jennifer and the conduit, Roxanne. It says choice is. I see something else now in this mind. You have a saying that says love is. But don't you know that love is choice? But not the choice of not realizing. Love is the choice of realization. When you realize an approach, a standpoint, you can have love as a choice. See, love is a connection. in the psyche of humanity. It's not a finite, it's not an ending. It's continuation, just like creation is. So for the human mind in and of itself to understand love is, that's all there is to know, then it's incomplete in itself and it becomes complex. And the complexities of this idea become this idea, limited. So I guess you can say it would sustain the mind that is fascinated or interested in exploring limitation. Now, see, you guys think that it's a bad thing to be limited. Not all you guys, of course not. I'm not going to be arrogant and, you know, blanket you guys as if you're an idea. You're singularities. But see, what we're talking about here is this exploration of limitation is a vibrational match to who you are. That's the big picture. But the intricacies that are working within the vibrational field you have chosen to play in, the psyche of humanity, separation, whatever you want to call it, allows you to understand a point of view that's never been experienced from here to there, with the element of time and the element of proposition or potential and negotiations, all in one failed moment of choice. Let's take, for example, when I manifested my kingship upon your earth, I was not that idea of a separated being evolved into this glorious idea of limitation. Much like Ra, much like me, much like Raku. You call them Roku, but it's Raku. Spelled the same. All these were manifestors of gods, is what you named us. And we were not limited. So the kingship came about without choice, because you're in this moment, as Roxy and Jennifer discovered. Watch this. It is fascinating. You have wheels on chairs. Now, why didn't I think of that? All right. So I would like you to observe me for a moment and know that I am not an entity in this now. Just wash your mind of history just for a moment so you can be the now. Do your best to eradicate all ideas of labeling me through this discerning mind that continues to manifest its filters in continuation just because you're here. So, oh, I like what you just said, Roxy. Yeah, it's not your fault. It's by default. Okay. So now I want you to view me. You want to move this up, Rox? Okay. A little bit bigger. There we go. As choice. Okay. Now stop for a second and let's take away time. I'm not choice to choose or not to choose. I am choice. Therefore, there's no beginning and end because choice births choice. Choice cannot end because it's always more. What is it always more of? Choice. But the separated mind, that may have not hit you all yet, the separated mind can choose. But the whole mind is choice. What flows through you is not that of an intention. It's not a preparation. That's all done down here. It's not a potential to choose. The now is the choice of you. You are the complete experiencer of that. But see, that choice is why you are forever. Because you cannot run out of choice when you are choice in and of itself. To choose is the element of time. Have chosen is an element of time. But choice singularly in the now, as is forever. So what you're going to understand about your choices those are the mindful choices, the brain, as you guys call them. The separated, fractal would be a poor word, but it works. Because you're never really fractalized. It sounds like a fracture. It has the same family genome. So this portion of yourself that is literally not separated has vibrated in choice to realize itself as choice in and of itself. So I would like you to understand, when I came here as a king, I had no choice, because I am that. There's no reason to have choice when you are choice. So the vibration took care of itself by being a king, because I chose to be that, but I never cognitively chose to be that. I became that as I always become myself, and all of myselves always become that of me. And the selves are not identities to be labeled, to be understood as histories and incarnations that birth out of the infinite matrix that you are. That's all human labeling, mapping to understand itself in portions to creation, when in and of itself you are all of that. It boggles the mind, surfing in your mind as of today, seeing the evolution since my reign 15,000 plus years ago, seeing how the mind has busied itself and hurried itself. I can understand the difficulties of understanding that you are the one and all. You don't have any importance or measurements towards distance ideas that are not in your spiritual family that you seek. I think you call them oversouls, soulmates, twin flames. You've just taken a whole bunch of horse shit and you've put it on a whole bunch of fucking things so this mind can feel better about itself. See, whenever you are improvement, you must know that the mind is that of the standpoint of being a choice with the ability to choose. See, that's the point of view. I started out as a point of view of being a king, to reign my kingdom. But I didn't choose to be it. I am it. You're flowing through creation, whether you believe it or not. And creation is flowing through you. You're one and the same. This awareness is scary because you don't know where it fits in. If I'm this cabinet and the wood and the screw and the fixture and the coffee mug and the honey and the sugar, then why don't I understand that? Well, that's the mind of choice, pushing things around to complicate, to understand, moving things so it fits better. Let me try it that way. No, let me try it this way. You're trying to find how your awareness fits into this big picture if you are all of this. Well, it can't be done with the mind because the mind understands itself as a choice. When you become the release of choice and realize that you have always been choice, then you'll know what it is to be all. It cannot be explained. It cannot be theorized. It cannot be given in limited words. It only can be that of experience. And as you guys slow yourself down, you will notice you will speed up. As Bethany Robert, the Homo Divinicus known as Jennifer, has stated, slow down to speed up. Because when you slow down, you're coming more to the now. When you hurry, you're running away from the now. You're validating time. When you have to get things done, you're in time, and time makes things really drag out. You take the arc of the now, okay? What do you got? Okay. Yeah. The arc of the now, and I'm going to draw this very limited, but it works. You have 2 points from now to now, and I'm putting it here so you can see there's more than one now, but it's all now. Okay. So this now is the arc of the now, and it is full of stillness. It's where you reside. Okay? When you are in time, you take the arc of the now and you extend creation into a flat experience of distance from a starting point to an end point. And when you're always trying to accomplish, when you're always in time, you flatten the arc of the now into time. Okay? See, here's the polarity and the paradox. The more you would be now, the longer you would live. The less you would age. The more you would experience as you. Why you die is because you're extending your life by hurrying. But the life energy runs out because it's no more appetitical. It has no vibrational match in the idea of its algorithm of humanity. In other words, death falls upon you because you simply believe it. So you try to cram everything to fulfill your lack, this brain that doesn't understand itself as choice, so that's why it never needs to choose, ever. There's no debate. There's no yes and no's. There is just what it is, without labels. When you understand that, and you start to give in to the now, you will notice one thing, how things quickly start to manifest, A, and B, how much more you fill the nows with, to where you're going to really slow down the now, time, to a snail's pace, where you can actually see creation happening. It's always been an ability of yours because you're now. And if you are now, then how do you not have access to everything in the now? Because you're shifting your point of view that you, again, didn't know you had. You didn't know you had the ability to not view it from this whole mind to the separated mind, your brain that thinks. So this brain that thinks says we have choice, says we can and cannot, have to and have nots, must be, must have, must do these things in order for these things, because it understands itself as the ability to choose. So when that separated mind is in and of itself the ability to choose, then how can it ever give itself anything but that? That's why you guys always have polarity, because you're using the mind that constitutes, values polarity. It's a rose in and of itself. You can't call a rose a dandelion because it's not. So separation in and of itself must be the sandbox of separation. So therefore you are this thought and this thought. Choice is the undertone, saying you have choice because the reality of your godship has allowed you to have choice while being choice. And then you employ the entire modality, or you don the mask, the body suit, the entire reality becomes you, that you have the ability to choose, which has the effects of debate, polarity, negotiations, good, bad, and different, failure and success. Because you have entered into a moment that you are as choice to see choice from a different perspective. I believe I'm reviewing while I'm talking to you. There was a class given to understand an incarnation, and I will use Pleiadians because that's in your world. Great species. They gave us the dimensions for the pyramids. Really cool. So I'm going to choose in an idea, but not cognitive thought. I'm choice. Okay? That's me. I'm not an entity. I'm not awareness. I'm choice. Okay? So my choice vibrates an incarnation. And then I become an incarnation called a Pleiadian. That Pleiadian knows itself as choice, so there's no reason to choose because it's not aware of to choose. It is always that of a rose. It will never be a dandelion. You guys are that point of view, but you have the ability to see yourself as a Pleiadian and not a Pleiadian. That's what's unique about humanity. Humanity can see itself as a human and as a God, as a future human and a past human. It has the ability to know itself other than the singularity. Now, I want you to listen to this, that point of view. To know yourself as a polarity, to know yourself as no choice is better said, because you are a choice in and of itself, so there's no reason to choose, okay? For the cognitive mind, this thinking mind, that would label that as limited. Because that point of view of this mind that you are ability to have, that you have grown into as an admiration, as a personality built, looks at that self that is choice and needs or desires nothing about choosing. From this point of view, it would look like it was limited. But see, you've been choice and you've never not chosen that of your perfect harmony. So when you are unaware of unharmony, then there's no notice of choice being good or bad when you are the now. So when you return to the now, as you do, by getting out of your way, and let me look at the terms you've used. Allow the now, be indifferent, accept all that is. Don't give a flying fuck about what other people think, do, say. Don't torture yourself with the futures of fears, loss, and dependencies. You will only grow more logistically, if you want to use your brain of hope, back into the natural, the now. And now flows through you, one miracle after another, and you can't believe it. But as it's occurring, you'll notice that this mind literally says you can't believe it because it doesn't understand itself as choice that needs not to choose, and everything comes is already perfect harmony. If you have forever, why are you rushing things? What are you going to? What's the finish line? See, that's this point of view. That's this whole gestalt of separation. It's always becoming. It's not is. Love is. Creation is. So when your isness is instilled into the idea of this wonderful separated mind becoming the whole mind, then you understand there is nowhere to go, nothing to do, because you are the experience. Now, in the human side of it, the to-dos are action. I'm going to empty the trash. I'm going to make dinner. That would be to-dos. But see, in the idea of creation, isness, movement is not labeled as doing. Movement is choice. Creation happening. It's not that you would go, oh man, I've got to go and vacuum, or I have to go to work. See, that's the whole point of view of I have the ability to choose. This point of view of isness would never question it going to work. It would get up and go to work because it is not disharmony with itself. So work would never be viewed as taxing, paralyzing, stifling, because you could not see it that way because you have no mind that labels it that way. Your mind that you use labels. The intelligence has no need or desire or awareness in and of itself or reasonality to know itself as a different choice. So whatever it is, automatically, without choice, because you are choice, taking action to create the everlasting harmony of the now. Jennifer, you have something.
So harmony is the separation creating harmony, because when you're not separated, you don't even need harmony. There's no such thing.
Yes, harmony is a point of view that exists in the separated mind.
Okay. So
because what's natural? What's unnoticed? Harmony, isn't it?
there you go. Okay. And us
Now you
noticing
got
it. There you go. So
Noticing
noticing it
is this point of view, to yearn or choose harmony. But harmony can only be based off of the field that's harmonistic according to the separated mind that you use as the experience. Therefore, the thruster or creator of the harmony, and that will be experienced according to the mind of separation. That's when you let go, harmony returns. In cognitive, it is harmonistic because you are choice, but the separated mind has experienced the, oh, what do you guys call it? What is it? Misalignment? Out of alignment? God, you guys got balance. What the fuck is balance? You can't balance creation. Creation is not out of balance. Limited term, we got you. Right?
So,
you get
yeah.
that?
Yeah. So basically, we don't ever have to choose because we are choice.
Right. You never actually have to choose because you always know the choice has already been made. When you choose, you deploy the mind of separation that gives you an experience of what you call an unharmony reality. It brings the shutters, Achilles with the lights, right? You guys got the lights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me do the lights. Boom, 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 boom. Again, light comes in, goes through your prism, refracted out. It comes in full of creation. It's every color you can imagine. And every now, there's nothing left now. out, because what are you? Here and now, so that includes all of existence. So all of this light comes through this prism and goes out in different colors, but the colors it goes out as are fractalized by the mind into refracting one, maybe two colors. I can't, there's a
So
ping.
that's the filter. The filter is
Yes,
basically creating choice, our choice, the
creating
fractal.
choice, because you are choice to understand choice. So you have the debate, you have the polarity, you have choice from a separated point of view to see you can choose A or B, but you never need to make the choice. The more choices you never make, you just leave things alone, then these light comes through as more and more. So you, instead of red, yellow, pink, you start to get purples, you start to get oranges, you start to get flowers, you start to get rainbows, you start to get more and more realities, because you're not saying, this is all I can see. It's always there. You can never not see the here and now. It's what you're letting through as a filter. Then it hits this brain, and then you experience through the refractum, in other words, the way you react to it, through the separation, because a separated mind reacts, it does not respond. We need a
Right.
class on that. We need a class on response. Okay, thank you, Ra. Brother Ra. So then it goes out in one, maybe two colors, and that experience, the way it is expressed, is your emotional equation to that, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, suctitude, awesome, blossom, orgasmic, shitty. It's a choice on how to view that. Now that is choice. So when you really want to understand the now, Jen, like you said, choice has already been made. Roxy channeled that apparently 3 months ago or so. So you look at that, the choice is already made, so leave things alone and watch how you have already chosen by, in the moment, only doing that of what you know is your truth.
So I mean, now we've just completely
Even that's
redefined.
diminished.
We've
I'm
redefined
my
the
partner's.
filters. I mean,
Well, if you want to redefine the filter, sure.
well, yeah, because you don't choose anymore. You're just constantly in the now. Whatever shows up is that.
Accept it.
You accept it. You don't have to get into this conversation in your head about what is my higher truth, whatever. It's just whatever's there is what I want. And then the more you just sit in that now, the more this stuff starts to show and reveal itself. And there's no more talk of filter.
Well, yeah.
The non-judging allowance.
Yeah, but it's being in the now, Dawn. That's what we're saying, is that there's no, all this stuff brought us to where we are now. It's literally living your life right now, not
That is
looking
it.
for something outside of it, not looking to make it better, to make it worse, whatever, just
Bingo.
being in the now.
Now I want you to look at Zephyr there, a new kind of predestination, fate, what you make. Okay, it's not predestination because you're not destining. There's nowhere to go. You're just being. You're going to be everything that you've ever imagined, plus that forever. So wherever you are, you cannot see it any other way except orgasmic. Absolute bliss. There's no ability to measure it because you're not interested in choice to take it to a different way of, because it already is harmony. But now, of course, comes in Homo Divinicus. Now that's a whole new way of viewing reality. We've been keeping ourselves away from what we are, though choice that needs not to be made. Yes.
Through choice, it doesn't need to be made. I mean, it's getting simpler and simpler and simpler every
Right.
time we talk about this stuff.
Well, sure. That's why we talk about it, right?
Yeah, and there's just this other thing I wanted to bring up, and I wanted to, Brandy, I saw part of that video. I don't know where she is. I saw part of that video that she sent today with the Homo Divinicus thing, and there was this talk about coiling. In other words, the uncoiling, coming from the energy of what we are down to the human being to understand how to do things. And when I was talking to Roxy today, what we understood is that we're the center point. We're 0 point creation.
Yep.
And therefore,
going.
from that 0 point creation, everything is being created all around us. Whatever you're in that moment is whatever you are vibrating in that moment to experience.
Right.
So anytime we talk about something like Homo divinicus, Homo galacticus, Homo sapien, any of that stuff, it already is, because somebody is creating it somewhere. If it's not in your now, it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be measured or looked at, because it's
Or
not
hoped for, or dreamed
right.
of, shunned on, because that's the mind that choices. See, that little model of the coiling, uncoiling was done from this point of view of choice,
Right.
not being choice. That's why it has debates about it. That's why it has another point of view. Every time you have the ability to see something as another point of view, you know that vibration is what you have seen it from, one thing and one thing only, from your filter point of view. Otherwise,
Right.
it would be harmony.
Right.
Every choice make another universe. What the fuck, English motherfucker? Do you speak it? We're kidding. Go ahead. Say it again.
Oh,
Say it again. Every choice make another universe. What is that? What are you asking? Zephyr, we can hear you.
oh, sorry.
His internet's a little slow. Every choice makes another universe. Well, let's put it this way, Zeph. The universes are already made. By the singularity you are, they're not yet realized. But we seek no realization because we need no reason to be more than what we already are. Because what we already are is complete, whole, and filled. So there's no reason to know another universe until it comes in that now that we are that we are aware of that. And then that universe, whatever it is not anything but the now. So you always constantly only see one thing. Your isness being experienced with absolutely no ways to diminish it into a polarized field. Although polarity in and of itself is the perfect harmony of creation. It is. You guys get to do this because you understand choice. So you took yourselves as choice to know yourselves in choice. You guys claimed it. You took yourself as God to know yourself as not God. That was the way from this point of view to label it. Now we're saying you are choice. And what you did with yourself is to experience yourself as choice. So you created a self that is choosable, that it has the ability of itself, in and of itself, to choose. You have the element of time. You have the element that's created called polarity. All of this allows you to choose. So the gift you given to yourself, if you want to look at from this point of view, is that you have the ability to experience other than. Other than what? What you've always been. That's why it's so unfamiliar down here. That's why it's scarier than shit down here. That's why you're Puff the Magic Dragon and always freaked out about new vibrations down here. Every time you guys get something out of accord with your reality, your mind automatically judges it because that's the habitual self trying to label everything and keep your reality out of control because you have grown into a familiarity of safe harbor as this separated mind that you only value as your truth. And as your truth becomes a different truth and you allow your natural to flow back in, those truths that are scary to release are released to know that the truths are don't need to be chosen anymore.
That's
And when
what,
you literally stop choosing, the only thing that can happen is you become you again.
that's why there's really nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. I mean, it just basically is, we're exactly where we want to be. There's nowhere to go there's actually nothing even to understand. It's literally
That's
just
why we said, what was that class you had? I want this.
yeah, that I want this. I must want it because it's here in my reality.
Yes.
Wow.
So you guys have this wonderful playground to play in to have admiration. How many of you dreamt about when you first woke up? Are you a king? Are you connected to Egypt? Maybe you're Cleopatra or Joan of Arc or these different gods. Well, gosh, guys, you're all of them. See, you're looking for the singularity. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Hang on, we're syncing it with rocks. Hang on. Okay, so let's put in a reality. I'm gonna lean this down a little bit. Okay, I think I could pick them up. Oh, look at that. There's a little baby. See, you guys create little babies. Okay. So this is Cleopatra, and this is Joan of Arc. Let's go with those two. They're there in the now, and then you pass through them one day. So don't you become Joan of Arc or Cleopatra? See, that hurts that mind, doesn't it?
Okay, my question is, do you pass through them or do they
Hi,
pass
Dawn.
you?
Hi, Dawn.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm well.
I haven't heard you ever interrupt in such passion in such a long time, apparently.
So that's just it. Do you pass through
All right,
them?
so what was your question?
Do they pass through you or do you pass through them?
See, that's you trying to figure out creation from the path directional point of view.
Mm-hmm.
It is the same time, the same now, both ways and always. But this mind can't keep up with it because it cannot label without direction. It cannot label without left and right. Who's first and who's second. That's why you don't understand there is no beginning or end, because you always have the, oh, do we go there or does it go here? See, when you become Homo Divinicus literally becomes you, because you're the stillness and Homo Divinicus pass through you. But as you're experiencing, you're passing through Homo Divinicus.
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
They can't pass through us because also whatever species or whatever entity is having a life right now doesn't have choice. They don't have the capacity to do it, nor do they have the interest, not capacity. They're not interested in doing it.
They have the capacity if they would
Right.
choose this understanding to have that experience. But if they're not vibrating in that reality, there's no regard to it.
Right. They're not interested in it.
Right.
Okay.
Better Zephyr is sequentialtaneous. Simultaneous is good, but sequentialtaneous. It's in order all at the same time. The order is not anything random. It is ordered and it is random. It is difficult for the mind to see because order means one after the other. It's just the next natural. And the next natural can never be labeled, seeked, wanted, unless you have the ability to see yourself in choice as what you are, original choice.
That's what a long time ago, I don't know who was channeled, but Mark asked
Far away.
some kind of a question about, I think it was the steward of creation. And the response was, we stay still for you.
Yes.
Oh. Oh.
Go, lay it out. Let's
Well,
hear it. Lay it out.
I am trying.
You're doing it. You're not trying. Stop choosing.
The stillness is all around you.
Yes.
You're the moment you slow down, you understand that now is creation. You become a part of that creation.
You become part of that now, and that now.
That now, because creation is still.
Yes. Remember when we were looking at the now and we said now is still?
Yeah.
Now is still. You guys look for movement as creation, but creation is in and of itself movement in the perfect now that is now forever still. Oh, it boggles the mind. I can see Roxy. Her mind is twisted.
So is that when you get that being sense of fulfillment, you don't have to do anything.
Yep.
Everything is perfection.
Yep.
That's
Is that
the
what?
being in the choice. That's
Not being
that,
in the choice. That's
yeah.
being choice.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we were talking about earlier, Don. Because we were both in that place where we're fulfilled. It was like nothing could have flowed in or out. It was just all right there, right perfect.
Yes. Daniel H, it looks like, has something.
Hi.
Greetings.
Greetings. So you're saying experiencing the now, staying in the experience of this moment, allows the natural
All
movement.
right. I'm gonna give you a stop thing.
Sure.
You don't need to say I'm saying, because then you are debating me from a standpoint of choosing, which only validates your mind of separation. So now that you understand that from a perspective of just birthed, what's your question? Or what's your statement?
So I have the music for the podcast that I'm going to do.
Yeah.
A new experience for me. I'm excited to do it. Is taking the first step to starting that journey of doing what I do, of following through on that. Is that something that I choose to enter into, or is that something that the natural movement of creation will guide me into?
Don't do it until the natural moves you to do it.
And is that's not hesitation?
Oh, there would be no hesitation.
Like my choice to not start, say, like immediately.
Right, that's not hesitation. Hesitation is you got to get it done, but then you don't want to get it, and now you're debating it because you're saying you got to get it done. So when you have to get it done for a timeline, that's what births hesitation. Passion doesn't birth hesitation. Hesitation is after you've chosen time, because hesitation only exists in time, right?
Yeah.
So if you choose, I got to get this done, then you hesitate because it is not your choice in the now. Your choice is to choose yourself in pain to get something done, to meet a deadline of expectancy, to keep yourself limited. Therefore, you must play in that box. But if you do it in passion, it'll come out of you with no effort in the perfect now. Because see, now assigns time. So yesterday is tomorrow, and next week is 2 years ago. Always. You never know. It's always the now, whatever the now fits the moment. And the moment is harmony, so relax and be the now, and you will see how your composing for Roxy's podcast introduction music will be that of effortless. And you won't be debating what Roxy likes. You will employ creation through you, and Roxy persona will speak to you, and the music will pour onto the idea of creation in front of you to behold. Yes, Jennifer. Do you get that, Daniel?
Yeah.
So
no,
relax.
No more of that. Yeah.
So when you're ready to do the music, it'll tell you, hey, it's time to do the music. You guys know when it's time to do something. You just feel it as the natural. You can't deny that. You might try to debate it, but that's employing the separated self of worth into non-worthiness. The whole self goes, you're worth this choice now, because it is what you are. But then the non-worthy self, the debated self, the one that chooses itself in pain to keep itself mediocre, says, do I want to do that now? Is it the right time? Am I sure this is my truth? Then it employs the natural that you have been more so than the natural you have are. that you are. Hurt your mind. Relax. Breathe. And know when you're ready to do it, do it. And send it to Roxy. And don't edit it. Be the fucking monster that you are. Roxy had a shirt. She didn't buy it today, though. I just saw it. It said Mother of Dragons. This crazy bitch is birthing dragons. That's you guys. So go be a damn dragon in the now, not in temperament of achievement. Because you already are all of creation in the now. How much bigger can you possibly fucking get if you are now? You can't, because you're all that is. You diminish yourself in time, in measurement, in hopes, in accomplishment, in outcome. Taking the arc of the now and make it into this flat little fucking pancake sandwich. Just nothing compared to what it is. A feast, a smorgasbord of creation in the now. So you let that out of you. And it's going to run through these filters of doubt and hope and approval and envy and admiration. And you're going to go, fuck it, I deserve. And you'll find the dragon. And you give it, and you won't edit it. Just, here it is, Rox. And Rox will go, fucking A. Because she knows before it gets there. It's already there. See, that reality is now. So the more Roxy becomes now, the more now she knows. And everything in the now, she knows. So when she gets that email, she knows that's the now of what's already been created and experienced and known by all of us, by you. So that's why you don't need to.
That's where our realities become us instead of us becoming our realities.
Yes. Yeah, we don't need to become there. That's time.
Yeah. So our realities just naturally in every moment, in every single moment, are becoming us. That's why when we learned with Abraham and stuff, it's like, you know, get happy and you'll attract all of this stuff. It's not that at all. It's the other way around. It's our natural self attracts it anyway. Now the idea is how to let it in and not block it anymore through choice.
Right. Choice blocks it. It makes it smaller. It diminishes the light of it. But that's not a bad thing, guys. You can't see that as a bad thing, but what you can see is when you are becoming your natural, then making a choice is keeping yourself what you have been. If you love the experience, which you do, then choose it. You cannot not love what you are. It's impossible, because love is. And since you are is, you are love.
My head hurts.
Would you like an aspirin?
No.
Would you like a foot massage?
Yes.
There you go. Maybe the neighbors, huh?
Oh, that was not nice. No.
See you later, Giselle. We love you, darling. Ekaterina asked, is there, we'll get with you, Angelica, real quick. Ekaterina, are you online? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I might have a whiny baby, but
That's it, real quick. Is there another species going to 4D, or is that has a choice like us? When Homo galacticus becomes itself in fourth density, it has no relationship to choice. It becomes the hive mind of harmony, right?
okay.
Homo divinicus has choice. That's why it's different. But you guys are birthing yourself as a new idea about Homo divinicus. And if you start to think about it, you're going to need a bus to get back to fuck. We muted.
Because Homo divinicus sees choice in a different way now.
Yes, its relationship to choice is an understanding. It employs itself as choice. You are birthed as choice. Creation never stops, right?
Right.
Creation can never not cease in any amount of limitation. So by your natural self, your mastery of yourself, your gestalt of yourself, you run across a reality with a new birthing experience called I am choice to be choice. I am this, and I can choose this or this or this or this. So now you're a whole self creating selves. You're a God creating gods. Okay? Stick with me. So now that choice is a relationship. What it is known as is polarized because that's the choice of vibration becoming itself in perfect harmony. After it keeps evolving because it has to. Why? Because it's always choice, and choice knows itself in one thing: the next choice, the furtherment, the evolution, the expansion. Choice always begets choice. That's why there's no beginning or end. So anyways, so now that you have this entire world, Homo Galacticus sees itself leaving choice to know itself as choice. Homo Divinicus is relating to choice from choice because it's aware of itself as it is birthed natural choice.
So it's choice without attachment.
Well, of course.
Yeah, it's a choice in the moment of looking at it as just experience from one moment to the next.
But see,
Or
you
story.
won't even do that, though.
Right.
You won't even look at it as that. You will be such a harmonistic relationship with understanding relationship to choice. You employ yourselves in many different nows as the same experiencer of the now from Homo Divinicus' point of view.
That's why it feels like Homo Galacticus is that hive mind where
It
that's
is.
the harmony, right?
But-
And then the Homo Divinicus is where everybody's just still separated, but
No, they're not separated. Don't use that term because then you bring that mind into the now. They're not separated. They're a relationship to choice of a new awareness as choice, becoming choice. That's what
Okay.
they see.
there
They're
it
not
is.
separated. The Homo Galacticus is the future human. That's the one that people want to be, and that's the one that you guys are co-creating with in the future. That's part of the Federation of Planets and all that stuff that you guys are interested in as this idea of choosing. You create a new species that is harmony of itself. That's ascending a species. Homo Divinicus has zero interest in that because it's relating to choice to create unconditioned instead of futuristic time conditioning, which is only this sandbox. This only knows this. You must know that. And every time you employ choice as from a standpoint to choose, that's the remaining sandbox. That's why it in itself is called limitation, because it only goes in one direction.
So we are Homo Divinicus now, and we are creating Homo Galacticus.
Well, yeah, Homo sapien is creating Homo Galacticus
Okay.
because Homo sapien cannot be without the idea of creation, right? So since in your time, now let's stay with time here. You're giving this a lot of thought. You're thinking. You're in this field. Get out of this field for a second. So in Homo Divinicus, stop. Homo sapien is a creation by 8 different DNA species. That's a starting point in time, right?
Yes.
That's the body. Then it knows itself as choice to the ability to choose. I am God with the ability to choose. Direction. These directions were only understood from I'm not choice to choose. So I must choose what I think, creating the fractal mind, is best for me because I know not I am all that is. This, not knowing I am choice, creates polarity. That's just a simple result. That's what happened according to vibration. We didn't know there was polarity coming. We had no idea. We're going to get you, Angelica. We didn't label things. We have no appetite to know because we are this, always is, right? You get that?
Yeah.
Okay, so now this species wants to know itself as choice, and the species that knows itself as choice, the original, is Homo galacticus, the hive mind, the unum, the Pleiadians, the Zephyrs, the ideas of every species, the Draconians, the Drachmonians, everything that has not been separated, every living physical and non-physical being you can imagine. That's what you're going back to. Creation, just from a point of view. You don't have to stay in Galacticus. You can just leave the incarnation any fucking time you want. And it's not a choice to do it. You just vibrate it. And there's no reason to choose because you never want to escape from what you are, because escape is choice. Homo Divinicus leaves this plane, goes over here. Bye. It's a right turn. And one has nothing to do with the other in logical steps. Are you following that?
Yeah, that cleared it up. Thank you. Yeah.
Very good, Tommy Jean. Read what's in the chat. Angelica.
Hi.
Hi. What's up, boo? Thank you.
I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted today. I'm so exhausted. Like I can
Good.
physically feel like my face feels heavy or something. I don't know how to explain it. But
yes, because here, I'll give you exactly what you're doing. You're trying to maintain an image when your self is saying, fucking stop. Stop being so goddamn fucking perfect. Stop creating the image so hard and so frustrating. Otherwise, you would never be tired. You can't get tired. Tired is exhaustion from the idea of trying. That's choice. That's the byproduct, if you want to label something, the result of choice. Always debating up here where to go. If you were isness, you can't run out of energy because you're internally. Now, and now is all creation. So guess what? You ain't never going to get tired.
I feel like, because I have my daughter by myself like 4 days in a row.
Yes.
And like I haven't had, any like human interaction other than with her for
Right.
like
And
4
that's
days now.
driving you nuts.
So it's kind of like solitude without like reflection. And the only reflection I have is like class and just like spurts of different moments.
Okay, so let's not assess your choices and give yourself a vibration of I'm not liking this. What you can do now is accept what was, because you have the ability of time. And now trust and know, with no fucking creating power of choice by you to gain that thing that you are looking for, let it come. So since you're so tired, give in. Give in for a few days and watch the interaction come. It will, if you get out of your way, because your vibration. Now listen, there's something about intention we got to touch you. Stay with me, Angelica, because I'm still focused on you, okay? So say you're a vibration, and your vibration has been pushed down by your thinking mind of making excuses or labeling your reality to keep it the same vibration framework, okay? It's the same thing because you have been choosing to keep it the same, even though you don't know, because you're only choosing from what you know. So the known must beget the known. So when you give in, the natural returns to the reality vibration, this world flows into you by absolutely no effort on your part. That's what you got to do by getting out of your way. You take the flat line of the arc of the now and you turn it back into its natural arc, and then all of a sudden in the now you get pouring in realities of ways to express yourself in interaction other than what you've just gone through. So firstly, you can't demise that experience, kick yourself in the nuts by saying, I have been through 4 days of fucking, I'm tired. Because then in this now, you become that vibration and sustainment, and therefore the exhaustion is experienced and the vortex attracts the same potential. However, right over here in the here and the now is the attitude of giving in. And then this entire reality flows into you with no effort. But you have been an ego, an image, an idea of a single mom, a go-getter, a successful. I'm not going to let this bring me down. I'm too much of a bitch to make this hurt. And then you become this callous, stony heart, absolute, atrocious thing to yourself. And you kick the living shit out of you because you don't know how to love yourself. Simple. So here's what you do. Every other thing hasn't worked. So right now, instead of being the ego that's offended, that's trying, that's choosing, try something different. And the trying is effortless. And what you do is nothing. Go about your nows with the simplicity of nothing. Take zero action. Now your mind is, of course, apparently going to bark at you. It's going to scream at you. You're going to feel so uncomfortable, so much angst, insecurity, uncertainty. But if you are a master of just leaving shit alone, then that mind cannot be employed because you're not using the antics of choice to create that reality of polarity. It's impossible because vibration is the only possibility that begets vibration. And if you let the natural in, then what flows to you is more than what you are. Because you have lowered your light with vibrational frequency. Not dark, not negative, not manager lower. It's just this frequency. And as you let go of this mind that chooses the best antics, you let light out. And then it flows through you and you become the experiencer of having interactions with human beings other than your daughter. Someone will babysit, a friend will come along, you'll get some abundance to go ahead and do that. You'll get a few days off of work. You don't have to do anything. They'll watch the child. You can go and take a massage in a spa and get a foot massage and treat yourself like a fucking queen. But if you want to be hard, that's your choice. That's what God gets to do. God gets to choose.
Yeah, I think I've been, especially this week, just going through the motions and
Empty, hollow, shelled.
trying just like thinking about the next month I'm gonna have of like, oh, I'm gonna have to pick up so many shifts at work to get like all this money for a security deposit. I have to move in a month, and then it's like I have my daughter. The rest of the time I'm not working, and now it's like
See, that's what you got to stop. See, that's you. That's the choices that you only know. But you can't value that. You got to have the guts, the big fucking pussy lips that you have, and say, fuck it. I'm not going to employ that idea. I have enough worth to let go and see if this shit is real. You can try that modality, can't you? Right?
Yeah, when you say
because what hasn't worked is what you've been doing. The eye of reflection. It works. You get to have your pain. You get to have your suffering. You get to have your good times and your bad times. You get to live everything of this worthiness, and that's what you have been doing. Because the mind says, I need a deposit, I need to get extra money, but I have my... And see, it just keeps going and going because it is this world. So the world has to stay every time you say and reiterate and choose that vibration, and that's the world that is experienced. Do you get that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so don't do what you have done to see what you are and not what you are not. You know you're not this in choice, but you cannot have that in experience if you keep choosing this. What you are in choice is harmony. So give in. Stop reiterating your fucking pity party. Stop caring on what you don't have and do have.
Yeah, it's frustrating to
It is frustrating, but that's a
like
labeling
that.
idea. Yes, it's an assessment. That's this mind choosing to call this situation frustrating, which employs that vibration.
Okay.
You're a God. You will know it. It'll take you getting used to not validate frustration, to not assess my shitty life, to not assess my good life, to not hope, to not dream. Everything that's birthed in this idea, polarity field, you acclimate yourself to what it is to allow more and more so. And then what you're going to understand is that you don't really have to choose that, because what you call results in time gives you a whole new fucking reality that's called a miracle.
So if I'm feeling something like physical, you know, exhaustion, I don't need to necessarily try to like analyze or find a cause or a factor.
Ready? Yes, you can, but you never, ever, ever motherfucking have to. That's your ability to choose as a choice. Booyah, motherfucker.
But doesn't trying to label a cause to something reiterate that pattern?
Yes, so don't do that. But I'm just saying you can.
Okay.
You can. That's what you're good at. But you don't need to. There is no need. Where's everybody going? Dawn went to take a nap. Are we? Oh, we're an hour and a half. That's why. Okay. Roxy was like, "What? Makes sense?"
Yeah, and I just had another question. I have like a whole group of friends that are very into astrology and very into like the lunar eclipse affecting
That
us
world.
in certain ways.
That world. See, that's the world of choice. Don't you get that? Do you really believe that the moon's vibration affects you? If you say yes, then you have employed vibration to create a reality that says yes, because all truths are truth. If there was a standard truth, we would have died into non-existence billions of fucking years ago, because you cannot limit creation. And one standard is that this will affect you. You have no choice, then creation collapses. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So understand, yes, that is absolutely true for the people who make that vibrational choice to say the Mars in retrograde will cause this vibration in your world. That's choice. Employed as a God, which creates vibration, which gives you reality. Are you following me?
Yeah.
Now, here's the gift. You don't have to choose that as a truth. But if you are choosing it out of fear because you're not sure if that's going to be right or wrong and you might be a victim, then you know you're in this sandbox, because there's no victims in this sandbox. Right?
Yeah.
Good. You got it.
I guess I don't necessarily identify with that on that level, but I'm curious as to why sometimes
See?
that type of mindset is like
It doesn't matter. Look, stop it. Stop wondering why and why not about other people.
Okay.
This is why you're so fucking exhausted, because you're never paying attention to your fucking passion. You're always wondering why the people are fucking wrong or why they're right. Because you never get to be the choice of yourself. You're always choosing the outside, objectified. Are you following me now? If you're curious, that's this mind. You can do that. You're really good at it. Keep going and live that painful life, because this cannot change if you keep choosing out of the same vibration. You walk into a store. This store is called limitation. How can you get anything unlimited in there? The supplier of the store is unlimited, but you only buy it as a limited thing. Do you get that?
Yeah,
Yes
I
or no?
mean, I guess I'm just more, sometimes I have thoughts about not like worrying about what other people and trying to identify it with myself, but more about just curious towards the
Okay, then go be curious.
association with it and why
Good.
people
Then
chosen
go.
that.
Go fucking play and waste your motherfucking time. That's all you're going to do, because you're going to end up right back in the now wondering what else you can wonder about, which is taking your time and always wondering. Do you understand that? That's why there's no solution to the idea of conspiracy theories, because the act in and of itself is what they passion. So you're always curious on why the integration. So your mind, and recognize this, big ego, very big ego right now, that your mind is wondering why. That's your mind trying to find its purpose, its value of separation to be fed, because you're not feeding it the purpose and value that you're used to. So you're starting to starve. So as you starve, the mind starts to think. It says, we need more food, Angelica. Why are these people talking about retrograde? I want to understand. Then go there. But know this, you will always be the same vibration, because that modality is birthed in to know, which is to choose. Time, the same sandbox you have been in. So therefore your vibration remains the same. And look, if you want to be a big ass bitch to go and explore, do that. But know that you're going to be the same exhausted vibration of self-pity, seeking some other kind of income from an object that fulfills yourself in admiration, envy, purpose, worth. Follow me?
Yeah.
Drop the fucking image. You're not that awesome. You're so awesome, you're trying to make yourself that awesome, which means you're not that awesome. You're this awesome, but you're only letting yourself be this awesome. And that's an exhausted, tired idea that no longer wants to keep fucking trying. So you got to let it go. The mastery is to let it go. But if you want to keep doing it, by all means, you have the ability to choose your own pain. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need a shave, Nanette.
Oh, it's your dog.
Oh,
A
yeah,
what?
it's your dog. I think you need a shave.
She does, yes.
Are you okay with accepting your worth awesome? Worth more than what you would keep fighting for? So you're so afraid to give up Angelica, the image. The one that argues, the one that is cocky, the one that is, I know you. I explore you. You're not private. You're not special. You're not outside of me. Your vibration is that of, I don't understand how to love myself. And see, that's the natural. But as you choose how to love yourself, you must employ limitation, because that's where how to exists. That's where choice to become exists, in an idea of emptiness, separation, not whole. Okay?
Okay.
Roxy says forget about the rest of the money you owe for the class. Was that good enough abundance? Is that a start? Or do you want to go ahead and say, no, I'll pay? What are you going to choose here?
That's fine. Thank you.
Oh, good. See? See how easy it is to not get in your own fucking way?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. So now that you understand that, then you can do that every now. Not in time, not in hope, not in gesture, not in conviction, not in anything that deploys time, outcome, betterment of I am here and now. When you allow the gifts to flow through you as you, accepting them wholeheartedly, though not 1 ounce of do I deserve, to the best of your ability every now, then you will only know yourself as choice. You're welcome, Mom. Ooh, Mon Ka Pedal.
You know, we really just do this out of boredom. Because everything is perfectly fine in every single now. We can have tons of fun with what's going on, and we get bored, we're spoiled, and then we go out and try to find crap to create stuff that's not even there and to fuck up our lives.
Because that's the vibration that you're used to. That's what you know yourself as. So you must seek within inside the known of yourself that you employ as a self-preservation.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's funny.
It is. Any other questions? You good, Angelica?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
This was spectacular. Thank you so much.
Well, it was you guys. You chose me. Right? You have that ability. But it really wasn't a choice. It was a natural. Someone had said, ooh, Ka! And that was it. That was passion. Therefore, reality.
Yeah.
Guys good?
I'm great, thank you.
You're welcome.
There's
Well,
a
I'm going to
lot
bring
more.
Miss Roxy back.
There's a lot more, but it's fuzzy.
Oh, there's much more. Because now you're starting to see the now. And the now is filled. Don't worry about the fuzziness. That's deploying the mind to seek. Keep being, just come you. It's natural.
Yeah, it'll come to us.
Absolutely.
We don't have to go
I will
get it.
come back again, Ma. No doubt.
That
Be it.
was awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.